That night, I lost my home. Not just the house, but my dignity. Jason Hopkins, 30 years old, once the overlooked middle child of a seemingly perfect family. Every attempt he made to prove himself was crushed by his family. His older brother, Matthew, was always the golden boy, the pride of the family, successful in his career, and the one holding the reins of the family business. As for Jason, in his parents' eyes, he was nothing but a failure. "You don't deserve success, Jason." His mother's words cut deep, engraving themselves into his heart. That was the last straw. She pushed him out of their lives, leaving him with nothing. That night, Jason realized home wasn't a safe haven. It was a prison. His father turned his back on him. His mother slammed the door in his face, and all that was left was a formal letter of expulsion and an empty house. With no support from anyone, his family cast him aside. From then on, Jason lived out of his truck, parked in the corners of city parking lots. He scraped by with odd jobs, each day a struggle for survival. The cold winds sliced through the truck's windows, but the chill inside his heart was worse. His brother, Matthew, never offered a hand and often mocked him behind his back. "You'll always be a loser." 5 years passed, and life was still hard for Jason, until one day, he scratched off a lottery ticket. $5 million. After taxes, $3.2 million. He couldn't believe his eyes. This seemingly ordinary scratch card had just made him a millionaire. But the money didn't matter much to him. What really mattered was the opportunity for revenge. Jason didn't rush to the bank or celebrate. Instead, he quietly made a decision. He would keep a low profile and continue pretending to be the failure, all while testing his family's loyalty. He told no one about the lottery win. He didn't change his lifestyle. Every day, he continued working odd jobs around the city, still playing the part of the man with nothing. His family treated him the same way as always. His parents continued to ignore him, and Matthew flaunted his success, acting like the family's shining star. As days passed, Jason pushed the situation further, deliberately creating hardships to gauge his family's reactions. He had a plan: to present himself as completely defeated, to see how they would treat him. First, he parked his truck in a public lot near his parents' house, intentionally delaying his parking fees. He created a financial struggle for himself, knowing this would be the moment when his family might notice. A few days later, just as expected, his parents remained indifferent. His father's cold gaze seemed to say, "Of course you're failing." His mother called him and said, "We have a fixed income. We can't help you. You'll need to figure this out yourself." Each response weighed heavily on Jason's heart, but it only strengthened his resolve. Matthew, seemingly the supportive brother, always offered help, but his words were condescending, almost as if to remind Jason of his place. "Life is tough, man. Don't depend on others too much," Matthew would say, patting Jason on the back. "But I've got a job for you. $8 an hour fixing cars. It's not much, but you can handle it." Jason felt the sting of those words. "How do you know what I can do?" The only one who truly showed care was his sister, Sarah. Unlike Matthew, Sarah didn't see herself as superior. One day, standing at her door, Jason confessed his struggle, his eyes filled with helplessness. Without hesitation, she took out $60 from her emergency fund and handed it to him. "Take this for now. If you need anything, just let me know. I can't change much, but at least I can do something." Sarah's act of kindness didn't just provide financial help. It offered trust and care. No ridicule, no judgment, just real support. She treated him like a brother, not a poor, struggling family member. Jason realized that while the rest of his family was too busy seeing success, no one truly saw failure. Despite his parents' and Matthew's indifference, Sarah was the only one who had his back. Her simple gesture planted the seed for his revenge, but it also made him reevaluate his relationship with his family. As time passed, Jason's business plans took shape. He knew that accumulating wealth and power wasn't something that could happen overnight, but he had a real opportunity to change his life. He just needed to remain calm and patient. He wasn't going to flaunt his success right away. Instead, he would continue to live as the failure until the right moment arrived. Jason started investing in something he had always been passionate about: off-road vehicle customization and auto parts. This was his niche, the one thing he could excel in. He returned to his old job, reconnected with trusted colleagues, and started building a new business. His income slowly began to grow, but he kept playing the part of the man struggling to make ends meet, living out of his truck. Meanwhile, Sarah's role in his plan grew stronger. Not only did she help him financially, but she became a crucial part of his business operations. She helped him connect with partners, and slowly, she learned the ropes of the business. Jason never told her, but deep down, he knew she believed in him, something he had never received from his parents or brother. "If you don't believe in yourself, who will?" Sarah's words stuck with him. She never doubted his ability to succeed, and her faith in him reignited his own confidence. Together, they began to build the business, and Jason transformed from the failure his family once saw him as to a man in control of his own future. However, Jason hadn't forgotten the humiliation he suffered, the arrogance of Matthew, the coldness of his parents, and the betrayal. These wounds had left deep scars in his soul, fueling his need for revenge. Jason continued to investigate Matthew's company and discovered that it was in serious financial trouble. Poor management, mounting debt, and a failing business. Matthew's empire was on the verge of collapse. This was the perfect opportunity for Jason. He moved quickly, purchasing Matthew's struggling company for $850,000 in cash. Jason then demanded that Matthew work for him, relegating him to the role of an ordinary employee, with his salary slashed and his benefits nearly non-existent. Worst of all, Matthew was forced to report to Sarah, his younger sister. The irony was impossible to ignore. The once infallible golden child, the man who had looked down on Jason for years, was now working under him, humbled by the very person he had once considered a failure. To Jason, this was not just sweet revenge. It was liberation. Jason's revenge was complete, but he didn't flaunt his victory. He kept a low profile, continuing to operate his off-road shop and slowly building his business empire. Sarah, however, was the one who truly thrived. She not only advanced in the business but also gained the recognition she deserved from the family. The once overlooked sister had become the one Jason trusted the most. Matthew, on the other hand, lived a humbled life. His former arrogance was replaced by a stark realization. True success wasn't about family support or money. It was about earning it on your own. In the end, Jason learned that the most important thing wasn't revenge. It was finding those who truly mattered. Sarah, his sister, was the one who had been there for him when no one else was. She was the family he had been searching for all along.